For 4.6b notes, we're going to go ahead and skip to example 2. And I also want you to make this a negative one so we can see what happens when it's a negative on top. All right, so the first couple of things we're going to look at is this is a plus 3, so that means we're shifting left 3, and this means we're shifting up 2. This negative tells us that we're going to be flipping our graph. Or you can think of it as reflecting. So typically, we would have our points here and here, but this time we're going to have them here and there. Let's go ahead and we're going to shift this left 3. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 to the left. And remember, when we're shifting our asymptote. And we're going up 2. Okay. And so we have no stretch. Typically, our point would be here. But since the negative, it's going to be up 1 over 1 and down 1 over 1, right there and there. And then we're going to hug the curve, hug the asymptote. Note we're going to have a y-intercept, and we're going to have an x-intercept. So we'll have to find those. All right. State the equations of any vertical asymptote. Well, our vertical asymptote is right here at x equals -3. This is x equals -3. Horizontal asymptotes right here. Y equals 2. This is y equals 2. Our domain, we're going from negative infinity, and then we stop here at 3. And then we pick back up at 3 and go to positive infinity. Again, note that 3 comes from where our asymptote is. Our range, we start at negative infinity, but then we take a pause at our asymptote of 2. We pick back up at 2, and the orange curve continues to positive infinity. To find our y-intercept, how do we find y-intercept? We set x equal to 0. So I'm going to have y equals -1 over 0 plus 3 plus 2. And this is going to be -1 over 3 plus 2. If you want to make a common denominator, times by 3. Let me do it. Common denominator is 3, so that's 6 over 3. 6 minus 1, that's 5 over 3. So our x equals 0. And then 5 over 3 is 2.67. About. Let's see. That looks about. Oh, nope, sorry. 1.67. 3 goes into 5 once. Oh, you can't see that. For our x-intercept, we make y equal to 0. So we're going to subtract the 2 over. Put this over 1, cross multiply. So -2 times x plus 3 equals -1. -2x minus 6 equals -1. -2x, add the 6 over, we get 5. Divide by -2. X equals negative, and that's 2.5. Let's see, does that look about right? Yeah, looks about -2.5. So this gives us -2.5, comma, 0. All right, let's go to number 3. So we're going to sketch the asymptotes and graph, and then identify domain, range, and the intercept. So let's look here. I want you to note how this is shifting and then draw in your asymptote. So this should have shifted left 1, down 4. And remember, your asymptotes are what are shifting. So your asymptote shifted left 1 and then down 4. And this time we're positive, but we have a stretch of 2. So the stretch of 2 means instead of our lattice point going over 1, up 1, we're going to go over 1, up 2 for the first point. So I'm going to go over 1, up 2, over 1, down 2. And this 2 is again because of that 2. And then we can all right, so let's ask ourselves a couple questions. We do have an x-intercept, so we'll have to find that, and we will have to find our y-intercept. So let's do domain and range. Domain for this first chunk, we're starting at negative infinity, and then our x's stop at negative 1. And then it looks like for this chunk, they pick back up at negative 1 and go to positive infinity. Note the relationship between this negative 1 and our asymptotes. For the range, let's start from the bottom. We go from negative infinity and stop at negative 4. And then we pick back up at negative 4 and go to positive infinity. And then we need to find the x-intercepts, y-intercepts. All right. For the x-intercept, 0. So let's say x is 4. So y is 0. Go ahead and solve that similarly to how we solved it on 2 on the front. And then for your y-intercept, I'll do that up here. We make x equal to 0, so solve that. Go ahead and pause the video so they can work on those. So for y-intercept, we get 0, which is shown in the picture. For x-intercepts, we should add 4, put this over 1, cross multiply. So I get 4x plus 4 equals 2. 4x equals negative 2, so x equals negative 1/2. Divide by 4, and we get comma 0. All right, let's go to number 3b. For 3b, let's note to ourselves what's going on here. This minus 2 tells me we're going right 2. This minus 3 tells me we're going down 3. This negative 4 tells us we're reflecting, so we're going to look like that, and the 4 tells me that we're stretch of 4. So we're going to go over 1, up 4. We're going to go up 4. We're down 4. So let's draw our asymptotes. Right 2, down 3. Typically, we go here. Typically, we go over 1, up 1. But this time, we're reflecting. So we're going to be on the left. And we're stretching a 4. So that's the reflection and the stretch. Same thing. Typically, we would be down here. But we're reflecting. And then we're down 4. We're right there. And so we're hugging. We're hugging. Hugging and looks like we do have an x-intercept and a y-intercept. We will have to find those. I want you to go ahead and try and find your domain range, x-intercept, and y-intercept. Go ahead and pause the video so that they can try and find those. Now that you've had time, the domain, we're at -2, pause at 2, pick up at 2, go to positive infinity. Again, this is where our vertical asymptote is. Range. Bottom is negative infinity. We're taking a pause right here. At -3, pick up at 3, go to infinity. For your y-intercept, make x equal to 0. Negative, let's see, 0 minus 2 is -2. -4 divided by -2, +2 minus 3 is -1. So it looks like we have right there. That's at 0, -1. X-intercept, -4 over x minus 2 minus 3 equals 0. Add 3. Put this over 1, cross multiply. Distribute. Add the 6. So x equals 2/3, which is about 0.67. So it's at 0.67, 0.